Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Positivity Hour. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about the concept of slowing down and what that does when you reflect on the world around you, and then subsequently the necessity to speed the hell back up because, obviously, we need times to slow down. We need times to reflect. But if you get bogged down in the mud, you're not going to be able to achieve your dreams, goals, and aspirations. So in today's podcast, we're going to be talking about that topic and a little bit more after that intro. All right, now that the intro has played, life may be go, 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 but hey, let's slow down real quick and say, happy Mother's Day out there to all of the mothers, people who are giving birth to these kids. It's a big goal of mine as a human here in the United States of America in 2026 to make being a mom cool again. So, yeah, can't wait till I can actually find my wife, put a kid in her too, and contribute to the population of this world and try to raise some upstanding members of society. But nonetheless, like I said, it's a great day to have a great day. I'm your host, Darshaun Smith, aka the Positivity God. You're watching episode 228 of the Positivity Hour. Technically, it's like season 7, episode 20, but, I just do the actual episode number rather than all that. But for those who are curious, you have that information now. That's all I got to say for the welcome. Thanks for your time. Thanks for being here. And let's get to that time capsule now.
Time capsule.
All right, guys, for the time capsule, we got 3 main things I want to throw in here. 1, the Lakers are down 3-0 to the refs. It's not looking good. Lakers about to get swept, and this might be the last basketball game of LeBron James's career ever. You can watch tomorrow on Monday. So yeah, definitely tune in. And for all of y'all out there, I'm joking. Yes, the Oklahoma City Thunder are a great team, but those first 2 games were, I'm not gonna lie, the rest were, it was kind of 8-on-5 basketball. But I saw a little bit of the highlights yesterday, and the Lakers lost by like 40 points or something at home. It's not looking good, guys. I think they're about to win back-to-back championships. That aside, let's talk about some comments from the Trump administration, more particularly Marco Rubio. I think he's the Secretary of Defense. I wanted to throw this in here because he had said something very interesting in a press conference 2 days ago. Yep, this is Marco Rubio, from the U.S. Department of State. I guess he's the Secretary of State or whatever. I don't know. Moral of the story here. A reporter was talking to him about, like, why are we still at war in the Middle East with these Persians, the Iranians? And he said, quote, "Only stupid countries don't shoot back when you're shot at, and we're not a stupid country." Which subsequently, Jerry Rig Everything, a YouTuber out of Utah, pointed out brilliantly that the USA shot first in this war. We literally started bombing them, and with our buddy old pals Israel and everything, and it's just not looking good. So I'm putting this in the time capsule to say that the propaganda machine for the United States government is in full effect. Obviously, I still want these people to defend, from foreign threats and all of that, but I also am here to say that it's a beautiful thing that in the United States of America, I can do what I'm doing right now and speak about the government and provide an opinion and share an opinion from other notable people. This person's in the tech industry, funny enough, but people who have their own eyes and their own internet access, and they can put together a timeline of what actually transpired, and they're like, actually, we kind of were the aggressors in this situation, and we literally bombed their dictator, supreme religious leader, and we're like, oh, everything's just gonna be fine after that. And so I don't know what we're doing, guys. The United States is still cooked. We've been talking about this for a few months now. That's your update on the war over there. That being said, Another screenshot I want to help you look at, my brothers and sisters out there, is right now in our nation there are a lot of politicians on all sides of the aisle who are trying to gerrymander the congressional districts and boundaries so that they can win re-elections until their grandkids die and we finally have a revolt and the United States is over. You know what I'm saying? And what really sparked a lot of what we're going to be talking about today was this picture, this image that is on your screen right now from the quote unquote Iowa war room. And as the person subsequently who quote tweeted this said, this account calls itself Iowa War Room, yet it's unaware that the state constitution bars districts from splitting counties. Because if you look at this map, Iowa has 4 congressional districts, and it's one of the great things I love about this state, although it leads definitely conservative. It's a real battleground state. If you have a good campaign and a good, idea to sell to people, anybody can win. It could be Democrat, it could be a freaking libertarian, okay? It's not always conservative. It's just been conservative the last 2 elections, for sure. But I say all that to say that this person, along with the trend that we're seeing around all of the southern states like Mississippi or Tennessee, South Carolina, even Florida, everyone and their mama's redrawing congressional district maps right now so that they can, hold more power, can consolidate the power for this upcoming midterm because they understand how unpopular this MAGA regime, Trump and his cronies and everything the Republican Party just stands for is. But there's not enough people out here who are questioning, like Mr. Secretary Mark Rubio was talking about. Only stupid countries don't shoot back when they're shot at. It's like we shot first, so it's only right Iran would shoot back at us. But whatever, you get the point. Moral of the story here is, in a lot of those other states, they're, doing what they got to do. But I'm in Iowa, so I want to talk about this map in particular. And as this person, the Somandani person, that's my best pronunciation of that name, so eloquently stated in Iowa's constitution, when you draw congressional maps, you can't split counties. It has whatever border it's in, the first, second, third, or fourth district. My representative in the first or second district of Iowa, rather, is Ashley Hinson, a Republican from Marion, one of the suburbs of Cedar Rapids. And we have 99 counties in Iowa. They break it up pretty evenly, like almost 25 each, you know what I'm saying? But this person who drew this hypothetical map, they're splitting cities in half. So there's literally down the river, or they're excluding certain suburbs, and I don't know, it's crazy. I understand the whole point of the gerrymandering. They want to stay in power and keep making the laws for people like them and such, but as an American, it doesn't matter if you're Republican or Democratic, or like I was joking earlier, but seriously, my neighbor's a big libertarian, politician. You need to understand what's going on in front of your eyes and just take a step back and just say, wow, why are these people not trying to actually run on a promising campaign? Why are these people just trying to rig the system so they get elected by default? Because they're spreading the people out, so they happen to always have their staunchest, deepest, best, hardest supporters, on their side. I don't know. I could keep talking about this forever, but we got to get to the main topic. So, moral of the story to cap this off, do your research, but don't get bogged down in the mud. As we're about to talk about in the main topic, you need to keep going. So, let's talk about that.
Time for the main topic.
All right, guys, for today's main topic, we got 3 points I want to cover, and then the fourth, I want to give you 3 action steps to speed your life back up and get out the mud. This has been really helpful to me as I've been trying to do this myself, because back when I was in college, 2019 through the end of, or actually not the end, 2019 through May of 2023, I was go. I was writing papers, I was working the job, I was traveling, I was doing it all. I was go, 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 go. There was no time to stop. There was no time to reflect. There was no time to sit back and think about how terrible life is, or think about how messed up the system is around me, or think about how AI is taking over. Like, there was no time to just sit and think or learn a useless skill for leisure or read a book. You know what I'm saying? It was just go, 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 go. That being said, after I graduated college and I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do with my life, and more particularly figure out how I was going to transition my business from a hobby to something I could sustain a healthy career for me and my family in the future, as well as, you know, some employees I want to have that can help me establish that as well. I slowed down. And what does that actually look like? I told you go, go, go means I'm always traveling, I'm always driving, I'm always working, I'm always thinking about, you know, these you know, the politics or the papers, or I'm creating more than I'm consuming. And when you slow down, it's the opposite. Instead of always traveling, recently I spend almost all of my time right here in this seat in this room. Rather than, you know, writing papers, you know, and creating content, rather than making these videos every day, I find myself consuming a lot of content, consuming these gerrymandered congressional maps, consuming the propaganda machine being put out by our president. These are just examples from my own life that we'll talk more about in the Let's Get Personal section. As I've talked about a lot of times on my podcast, the creator versus consumer mindset. When you're go, 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 it's create, create, create. But when you're slow down, it's consume, consume, consume. And that's funny, that's the third point. Consuming more gets you bogged down in the mud. And it's one of the reasons why, if you actually want to achieve anything of substance, you need to have tunnel vision. You need to have the ability to just see the goal, see the prize, and just only that. Because when you slow down and smell the roses, as I was so eloquently saying in my journal yesterday, you get to smell the bullshit too, okay? You get to see what it's really like. You get to acknowledge the real world, whether you agree with it or not, whether you acknowledge it or not, subconsciously or consciously. When you get off of the horse and you slow down and you look left and you look right, you're like, wow, there's a lot going on. And recently, all of that has gotten me feeling very overwhelmed as a human being. 3 episodes ago, I literally crashed out for an hour and a half on the podcast about being burnt out. But, you know, a few weeks removed from that, I have, you know, expanded my understanding of what I felt in that moment. And I was not burnt out. I was simply just overwhelmed with the amount of information being presented to me, because I had slowed down so much and chose willingly to consume more to try and understand the world. And I quickly had found out that you can't do that. Not that it's not possible, but if you still want to achieve something in life, rather than you've already achieved something in life and now you want to slow down and reflect, you can't be doing that at a young age. You just need to kind of get to work. You need to, you know, stay on top of mind of the mission, you know, and just really persevere through the adversity. And as a man, I know this sounds a little crazy, like, don't listen to your feelings, don't take care of yourself. But like I said, you know, it's a double-edged sword. You know, that's why I put it in the title. You know, slowing down is a double-edged sword. You need to reflect. You need to have moments where you can, you know, look at what actually happened and what you could do differently next time. But you also need to just keep moving forward, because, you know, if you're in the middle of hell, you know what I'm saying, everything's just going wrong in your life. Well, do you think stopping and thinking about why that's gonna happen is gonna help you? Like, it could, but like, I'm telling you, you have a better chance of escaping all of that if you acknowledge it and then keep moving. Because at least you have a shot to get out of the hole. At least you have a shot to get out of the mud pit, okay? And yeah, all that being said, moral of the story, like I said, slowing down is powerful. It's needed. but you also need to speed back up. It's a balance. And over these last, 3 years of me being out of college now, I graduated from college almost 3 years ago. I think it's actually time to speed back up. So here are 3 action steps you can apply to your life today to speed back up. Okay. Number 1, stop trying to learn more and just start doing more with what you already know. This is very important because there's always more to know, as the great philosopher Dr. Ruth White of the Academy for Scholastic and Personal Success said to me about a month ago. Okay, there's always more to know about culture, about society, about literature, about music, whatever you could think of, there's always more to know. But if you get stuck in learning, when do you have time to produce? Think about that. And if you can successfully answer that question, you may come to the conclusion, if I'm always learning, I have no time to produce. So stop trying to learn all the time and start doing more. Start showing up more. Start like this, making more videos or podcasts or ads or whatever you need to do to get your message out to the people. Start applying what you've learned. If you're always learning, when do you have time to actually master the skill? I play the trumpet. Let's say I want to learn a new skill. I read about it. I watched some videos about how to do the articulation. Now it's time to pull my trumpet out and try it and just do. Okay? You will learn more in a lot of cases by getting the real world experience than just reading about it in the book. So number 1, stop trying to learn more and just do more. Number 2, record your progress daily. It's one of the reasons why I have my journal here, is because I think it's literally. Well, I need to re-sharpie the front, but I've always had a journal. I have like 3 of these full notebooks, just hundreds of pages of my thoughts and ideas. And recently, I've started to journal 1 time a day, sometimes 2 times a day, and I've almost been going for 2 weeks straight. And I've just acknowledged simply, like, what has happened today? What have I done today? What have I completed today? What actionable, like, money-making moves have I, actually facilitated? I'm running out of ways of saying it, but like literally, like, you just need to document what you're doing on a day-to-day basis so you can understand, like, here's why my life is not changing, or when I changed this, my life got better. Recently, I've even started tracking my calories because I want to lose weight. I'm very serious about that. I want to find a wife, and I can't do that if I'm just an out of shape, big guy. So I want to actually make sure we can facilitate that dream of mine, because I want kids from a pretty lady. And because I started tracking my calories a week ago, I finally understood why I was losing some weight sometimes, and then I was gaining it back, because I was grossly overeating. My caloric intake and the breakdown of what I was eating was just all over the place. It's very inconsistent, and more importantly, it just was way too much. And I did the math. I consulted some people. La-di-da-di-do-da-day. We got a system in place, and I can literally tell you the day in the future, if I stay doing what I'm doing every day, I'll hit my goal. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I'm trying to find my wife somewhere. In between that, I'm not trying to find my wife in 2 years. But you get the point. So, moral of the story, record your progress daily, because it gives you the information to actually know if what you're doing more is working or not, and what you may need to change to go forward in the future. And number 3, fix more problems than you create. This is very important, not only for the men in the back, but for the women too. Okay. It could be, your interpersonal relationships with friends or family. It could be your job. You know what I'm saying? It could be, your fun activities you do on the weekend. It could even be your, church, just whatever it may be. Fix more problems than you create. If you understand that, you speak up and you have an opinion and that rubs people the wrong way, then I think you may want to bring a lot of money into the organization, so people will be like, okay, it's a fair trade. And I think this particular point, I could give more examples, but that was just like the first one that came to mind. I think this particular example, fix more problems than you create, helps you be not only a net positive to society, but it also allows you to feel like you're actually contributing. Okay, there's a difference between being a net positive to society, that's how other people see you, but when you fix more problems than you create, you can sleep good at night. You can know that you tried and you actually did something that impacted the people around you. And I think that combination of the two is very important. So to give you the 3 action steps one more time real quick, that can speed your life back up and get you back on track and out of the mud. Number 1, stop trying to learn more and just do more. Number 2, record your progress daily. Okay, write it down, use your notes app in the phone, whatever it is. Just keep track of your progress. And number 3, fix more problems than you solve. Be a net positive to those around you and yourself. With all that being said, let's get personal.
Let's get personal.
Had to make sure this thing was still recording. I kind of turn the sound off occasionally on the camera so it doesn't beep when it turns on and off. So we're 23 minutes in. We're making good time. Let's keep going. Yesterday, I was outside and I was struggling to work. Okay. Well, first I was in this room and I was struggling to work. So I went outside. And when I was outside, I was just sitting underneath my trees in the backyard, in my little lawn chair, sun beaming in on me, feet in the grass, just kind of touching nature. And I was just like, why have I been struggling to work a lot recently? What is holding me back? What's blocking the dam from letting this water flow down the stream? I really was giving it some goddamn thought. And that's how I came up with this whole podcast topic here. What's stopping all of me trying to be successful in this world has been me trying to slow down and understand what's going on around me. It's a double-edged sword. You need to know what's going around you. Otherwise, you're just going to get screwed over because you're going to be ill-informed. You can't hold a conversation with your peers. You're going to, not be able to vote for the people that have your best interest at heart. Things of that nature. But at the same time, if you know too much, as I was saying, last episode or the episode before this one, I don't need to be a philosopher, bro. I don't need to know everything. But if you know too much, then you get bogged down in minor details that, objectively speaking, don't matter for what you're trying to do in life. And I had said out loud in that moment, I'm overwhelmed because of that. And that was kind of the theme of this last week. And I remember on Monday, and I'll link this in the show notes or the description below so you can listen to this podcast as well. But there was this podcast episode I was listening to when I was driving the bus at the day job from Cortex. Okay, it's a podcast of these two people. One is CPG Gray. You may have seen some of his videos before on YouTube. He makes some explainers. I'll throw some of those down there as well. But his co-host as well, or I guess the other host on the podcast, what is his name? Mike Hurley? Yeah, CGP Gray and Mike Hurley. They have a business and technology podcast. And this episode I watched, it was episode 177, How Major Life Changes Reshape Creative Workflows, with the creator from Snazzy Labs and the founder of Snazzy Labs, rather, Quinn Nelson. And I'll let you come to your own conclusions about what they talked about in there. But pretty much everything I've talked about in this podcast, I literally in some way got from what they were talking about. Because it's the human experience, it's growing and aging. And like I was saying, I had just finished the portion of my life where I was in school for 18 consecutive years. And I've acknowledged over the last month or two of my podcast that I've really been struggling transitioning to full adulthood. I've really been struggling, and I've found a way to do it, and I'm working on it. But a month ago, I was not having it. I was really struggling, guys. And moral of the story, there was a point that Quinn had said in this podcast that I am also going to give you now as your wisdom from an OG, that I paraphrased in my journal yesterday, last night at 8:24 p.m. And my paraphrase goes, when you make content or try to have an impact on the world, you must be in the go, go, go mode. If you slow down, then you will recognize just how bad things really are around you, and you won't do anything with your life. And I came to that conclusion, like I said, watching this podcast, thinking about my own life, and just being very objective about the things. That's the beautiful thing about this podcast. I've recorded myself once a week every year for almost the last 7 years of my life. I can see how I've changed visually, mentally, intellectually, whatever it may be. I journal, you know what I'm saying? So I can not only see myself, I can read what I've written in this journal or the previous two. You know, I have little notes and, you know, just accomplishments. I have awards in my closet that I don't display. You know what I'm saying? Like all of this and more. I have my own artwork on the wall, or like media badges. Like I have things around me that get me thinking about what I've created, what I've consumed, you know, what I've done for the world, what the world has done to me, you know. And the moral of the story, you know, the whole emphasis of this podcast is slowing down is a necessity, okay? We all need to reflect and have a moment where we can just look at the bigger picture and say, all right, now I know what to do, or that's why this happened, or whatever. But we need to understand it's a double-edged sword. You need to slow down to reflect, but you can't get bogged down in the mud. And this week especially has taught me that, and that's why this week especially it's been one of the most instrumental of my life, because it's allowed me perspective to actually, you know, make a plan to elevate myself like never before. Like this is a detailed, meticulous plan that I have daily, monthly, yearly, you know, action steps that I can do to get the hell out of the rat race and get the hell out of this mud pit and actually see success in this world. So moral of the story for your let's get personal wisdom from your OG combo section here is keep showing up. Life is going to be hard either way, but I believe in you. If I can do it, you can too, because I am a normal guy, bro. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm just like you. I'm an overweight American trying to live the dream, you know, try to get the white picket fence and the 2.5 kids and a dog, okay? But I have my struggles. There's people around me who have died or who have health concerns or what have you. And I've also, you know, graduated college and I got a bright future ahead of me, okay? It's a struggle, yes, but we're gonna keep making it happen, okay? If I can do it, you can too, because we're just all trying to find a way, you know. And as a wise man once told me, you only fail when you quit. So keep showing up and you got this. For next week's topic, let me open my tablet back up real quick. We will be talking about how to make better choices, okay? Life choices, rather. I'll give you the details next week about that. But yeah, essentially, everything in life you do is a choice. The fact I decided to turn my camera on 3 hours after I woke up was a choice. It gave me time to eat. It gave me time to, you know, not drink some water. I'm really thirsty. It gave me time to just think fully about this topic when my brain was fresh. And, you know, that all of these were a choice, you know, and I want to help you along with myself make better life choices so that we can, you know, get in shape or make more money or find that person you're trying to spend your life with, or, you know, really just, you know, impact the world, you know, positively or negatively, whatever it is. It's all a choice. So next week, we're going to talk about how to make better life choices, and it's going to be a good one. Don't want to miss it. Outro now. Thanks for watching. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. I love you. And I just want to let you know, you're not alone, party people, okay? You are amazing, and you are one of a kind. I'm not just saying that to say that to you for the Instagram clicks or whatever, but I'm just saying that because that's what I believe, you know what I'm saying? I believe that strategic delusion is of benefit to us. And even when things aren't looking good in modern politics or our society or the world wars that are currently happening with, you know, Russia and Ukraine, or the US and Iran, and it doesn't matter, okay? You get to choose how you feel about it. You get to choose how you respond to it, and I choose to think about it from the positive side of things, and that involves, you know, trying to help you and myself, you know, feel better about ourselves so that we can be the change we want to see in the world, you know, because they don't want us to win, as DJ Khaled would say, okay? They want us to be down, but we choose to rise, so still we rise, as Beyonce said or whatever. So yes, we can, as Obama said, since I'm quoting everybody, and I'll see y'all next week. Make sure you like, subscribe, unsubscribe, hate, comment, follow, unfollow, share, report, positive comment. I don't care. Just stay positive and get the bread. Fade the black, and we gone. Woo!
DSP. We capture moments.
My G'd up zone. I'm about to get it in, kick your feet up home. Days turn to weeks when you're always on the grind all night. I got my re-up back. I'm about to get it in, I'll be right back.
Nate, high lows to those who don't know the name. And G'd up, yup, that's the only thing I claim.